All right, this is Chase Gore.
I'm Chris Gore.
This is the Slot Team Mafia Show, Area Round Playoff Edition. We're here live in the studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop here is brought to you by Nix and Nax. My co-host here, appreciate him coming on. Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
And glad you could make it in tonight. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So last week, Andrews traveled to San Angelo to take on the Burnett Bulldogs in the bi-district round of the playoffs. Andrews coming out of that game with the 35-21 victory. And Chris, do you want to go ahead and give me your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, big win for the Mustangs. I think we talked about it earlier, and just watching the highlights and some of the game film. Obviously Burnett was bigger than we were. Most teams are, but you could see the speed difference. We were a whole lot quicker and faster than they were, and that was reflected on both sides of the ball. Like Coach Narrell and Coach Brink said, the kids executed the game plan. Complimentary football, like you talked about, had some big turnovers early to kind of get the momentum. Defense shut them down when they had to, and Burnett had a real hard time stopping us. When we needed a first down, we got one. Line played great. The backs ran hard, and big win for sure. Well, we're going to go ahead and in that Andrews-Burnett game, go over some stats real quick. So rushing, Jayshawn DeBose was 17 for 107 and 3 touchdowns. Leroy Millon was 16 for 61, and Merck Size was 10 for 45. On the defensive end, we held their running backs to 20 carries for 93 yards. Nice. And
1 touchdown. That running back, that really good one they had, Coronado, he had 11 carries for 55 yards.
Didn't do much.
And now Burnett passing was 17 of 34 for 189. They had 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions and 1 pick six. And Raider Harvey had the INT early. Dalen Jeffcoats also had an INT about mid-game. And then Brady Kelly had the big one.
Sealed it.
That sealed the deal late in the game. And one more shout-out that we wanted to give on the defensive end. Strong safety, Zach Cabrera. During that game, we had, due to injury, we had one of our linebackers had went out of the game. And Zach Cabrera had to move down into the inside linebacker position to finish the rest of the game, and he was all over the field. I couldn't tell you how many times we called his name, but he was sideline to sideline, had some pass breakups. He had the hit stick, and there was a couple of times it looked like the running back was going to break free. Cabrera get a hold of him and would not let go, and allowed the Mustang defense to rally. So we wanted to give a shout-out to those guys, and now –
moving on.
we're going to get rid of that. Now we're moving to the area round of the playoffs. Andrews is going to be facing Canyon Randall this Thursday, the 21st at 7 p.m., Peoples Bank Stadium up in Wolford, Texas. Andrews will be the home team. Now, just to let you guys know out there, so just some information that we're coming new to our Mustang News Network. We will not be able to live stream the game. You will be able to watch it on NFHS, the app, if you pay for it. If not, we will be there live with our audio stream just like we were last week. But some good information for us. It won't affect this year, but next year we will get in contract with NFHS.
Do the playoff games.
In the years to come, we will have access to do the playoff games. We're new to this business and trying to figure it all out. But we have some good guys out there. Cody West in Littlefield, Texas, kind of helping us out, giving us some info. He's going to help us take care of that and get us in contract with NFHS in the future.
And I think it's a UIL deal where you can't live stream the playoff games without their consent.
You can't.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
They have a contract with the company that has a contract with NFHS.
Yeah.
So – all right, so we're going to jump right into this. Canyon Randall sitting at 10-1 on the season. Their only loss came to West Plains. They finished second in their district. Now, Andrews versus Canyon Randall, all-time record. Andrews leads 3-0. 3 wins, no losses. In 1993, Andrews in the area round defeated Canyon 44-29. Yours truly was on that ball club. And then in 2022, Andrews defeated Canyon at home, non-district game, 11-7.
Yep.
And then in 2023, last year, first game of the season,
Went up there and beat them good.
Canyon, we beat them 32-21. Now, Chris, what are your thoughts looking at this Canyon team?
Well, you know, Coach Narrell and Coach Brink hit on it. And, you know, football teams change from year to year, especially in high school. You know, you might have half the carryovers, but you have, you know, basically different teams. That being said, it's a team we're familiar with. It's a team we've played the last couple of years and beat them pretty handily last year, so we know them. You know, again, it's a new team. They're 10-1 for a reason. They beat some good ball clubs this year. But they did struggle with the slot T last year. And I think that's something that we could might be able to balance the game out a little bit. I'm excited. Like you said, they've never beaten us. We've handled them the last 2 years, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good matchup for the Mustangs.
And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about watching film on Canyon Randall this week. And so, number one, they're big up front, both sides of the ball.
We're last year,
They're going to be a lot bigger than we are. They have speed everywhere. Everywhere. Running backs, receivers, quarterback.
That back they had last year was a good player.
And so they've got speed. Their running back is number 21, very shifty and fast. He weaves in and out. He's small. He gets behind those blockers, and he kind of lets the play develop. And then next thing you know, boom,
Gone, you know.
he squirts free. Also, they have two receivers. There's 88 and number 12. Now they're going to run about 60% of the time, but they'll throw little wide receiver screens or little slants. And if you're in man-to-man, 88, if he gets it in the open field, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
And I'm going to say he's 6'3" or 4.
I think I remember him from last year, but they didn't throw to him a lot last year.
Well, and I believe 88 and 12, they have the same last name, but they're not related.
Yeah.
So Andrews will have their work cut out for them this week.
Absolutely.
And we want to go ahead and reiterate, we will be there. UIL will not allow us to live stream, but we will be there live. We'll have our audio stream going. We'll go live at 6:50 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And hope everybody can make it. If you can make it to Wolfforth, please get there. If not, we'll be audio streaming live at the game. And Chris, that's going to go ahead and move us off into our pick'em section, where my co-host Chris Gore on the season is sitting 72-43, and yours truly is sitting 81-33.
And I'm behind.
The 9-game lead now.
I'm behind.
And we're going to go ahead and go right into this. So would you like me to pick first since you're so far behind?
Go ahead. Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead. Yeah, you got it.
So first game, I've got Dumas versus Lampasas here in Andrews.
Have to go watch that Friday night.
And I'm going to go ahead and throw you a bone here, and I'm going to say Dumas comes up with a big upset.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Dumas is, I think, 5-6. Lampasas is 9-2. Lampasas is really explosive offensively. I'm going to go with the Lampasas Badgers. I'm going to say 56-21.
All right, and I got a lower scoring game. I got Dumas 21-20.
There you go.
All right, game number 2, Canyon West Plains versus Brownwood in Snyder.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead, and I'm taking Canyon West Plains over Brownwood, and by the score of 28-14.
So normally, if I wasn't so far behind and have to make up so much ground, I'd probably go with West Plains. I don't think Brownwood's as good as they've been the last few years. But that being said, typically teams east of Abilene fare well against teams from the Panhandle and West Texas. So I'm going to go with the Brownwood Lions. I'm going to say 31-27.
All right, game number 3, Seminole versus Glen Rose in Sweetwater.
Man, I'll tell you what, Seminole, let me go with this one first. So Seminole really that was a mistake. That was a bad deal when they lost the district championship to Greenwood, because it put them in that playoff bracket with you got Glen Rose the second round. I think Greenwood's got Benbrook, which is a beatable team. I think the road comes to an end for the Indians. They're going to get beat 52-25.
All right, and I got Glen Rose winning 48-14. All right, now we got game number 4, Greenwood versus Benbrook. Both teams 10-1, playing in Abilene.
Yeah, that's a winnable game for Greenwood, but who are you picking?
I'm going Greenwood Rangers 28-21.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say Benbrook 35, Greenwood 22.
All right. Game number 5, Estacada versus Brock in Clyde.
Lord. Okay, there's no way I can pick Estacada. I'm going to say Brock 55-0.
Okay, I got Brock 63-14.
Yeah.
All right, game number 6, Midland Legacy versus Euless Trinity.
Yeah, I mean, I think Midland Legacy's got them at home. I think Trinity beat them really bad earlier in the year.
Beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm going to go with – who are you going with?
Midland Legacy's a different team now. They've really come on, and I'm going to go Legacy in the upset once again, and I'm going to say 42-40.
I'm going to say Euless Trinity. I'm going to say 49-42.
All right. Game number 7, Midland High versus Crowley in Abilene, and I'm going Midland High Bulldogs 35-28.
Yeah, no, Crowley will beat them. I'm going to say Crowley 42, Midland High 14.
All right. Game number 8, Army at Notre Dame.
God, I'd love to see Army beat them. Who you going with?
Well, since it's at Notre Dame, I have to go with Notre Dame 35-21.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Black Knights. I'm going to go with Army. I'm going to say 24-21.
All right, game number 9, moving to the NFL, 49ers at Packers.
That'd be a good game, but 49ers kind of struggled last week. Jordan Love's playing well. I'm going to go Green Bay. I'm going to say 31-24.
All right, I'm going to give my co-host a chance. And I'm going to go ahead and say 49ers on the road. They have to win. Their backs are against the wall. I'm going to go 49ers 27-24 over the Packers.
Be a good game.
Game number 10, Ravens at Chargers.
That'd be a good game. Chargers won this week. Ravens kind of, I think, didn't Pittsburgh kick like 5 field goals and beat them?
Pittsburgh's
Yeah.
8-2.
Yeah, they are 8-2. Yeah, they are. Well, since they switched quarterbacks, they started. Now I'm going to go. You know what? Ravens. They lost last week. Chargers. Harbaugh's a great coach. Don't think he's got all of his pieces there yet. So I'm going to go Ravens. Let's see, 31-27.
All right, and I'm going to go with the other brother. I'm going to go with the Chargers at home, and I'm going to go 31-30 Chargers.
Be a good game.
So that's going to conclude our pick'em section, and we'll be right back with some guests in the studio. All right, we're back here live in the studio, and I have a special guest coach live, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
I'm Brett Narrell. I'm defensive line coach at Andrews High School.
Coach Narrell, happy to have you back on the show once again. We're going to go ahead and touch base on last week's victory over Burnett, and great job all around by the defense, defensive line, linebackers, secondary. You guys had them very well prepared. I just wanted to make sure to tell you that. Fantastic. Anything that you want to add to that in last week's game?
Well, I think what's really important is we had a couple of kids hurt going into the game, and then one of our linebackers got hurt, and you're going to have Zach on here in a minute. He's a safety that had to walk down and play linebacker, and really did a great job. And there's a couple of times that we got after the quarterback, knocked some balls in the air, and we had guys going after it, trying to get it. The hustle and the focus of those guys on defense was really good. The game plan we wanted to execute, they really did it exactly the way we asked them to.
I'm going to piggyback onto that. I'm going to mention 2 names out there you don't hear a lot of, but Jacob Roberts had a great swim move, and in my opinion, that was a fumble when the quarterback, it looked like he was throwing the ball. But he had a great swim move. He was around the quarterback all night. Also, Kobe Glass had a great play, a great hit on the quarterback, so I want to go ahead and piggyback off of that. Those are some names that you might not have heard a lot of. They stepped up real big. Great team effort, and defense was masterful in this last week's game. Now we're moving forward. We're going to be facing Canyon Randall. They're 10-1 on the season. We're going to be playing up in Friendship, Wolforth, Thursday night, 7 o'clock. And I believe we're the home team.
Yes.
And now, Coach, watching them on film and preparing this week, number one, how did practice, how's it been going so far this week?
It's been really fantastic. On the side of the ball that we're practicing on our half the field, they have really hustled. They've got after it. We've thrown some new things at them, some new adjustments at them, changed a few things, and they latched onto it Monday, and today it was really clean, and we hope tomorrow that we just polish that up and we're ready to roll.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Watching some film and things on Canyon Randall, I'm going to say run 60%, pass 40.
That's exactly what it is. It's 59-41.
All right, and really good running back, big offensive line.
Yeah.
2 receivers that can fly.
Yes.
One of them might get only 2 or 3 catches a game, but probably averaging 20 or 30 yards per reception.
Yeah. It's the biggest offensive line we're going to face and the most physical one. They also have, I would just say, the second best tight end behind ours, Braden Williams, but he's right there with him. He's physical. He can run. He can catch. Possibly the best running back that we've faced all year.
Shifty.
Absolutely. And if you give him a crease, anytime he has a hole, he scores a touchdown. In fact, I blew a top this morning at practice explaining to these guys, if you don't do it right, it's a touchdown if you give him a chance. And their receiver, they have a lot of good ones. Number 88 is the one that, against Hereford, they threw a slant on the 1 yard line, caught it at the 5, and went all the way in.
99.
They're well coached. They don't screw up, but we've just got to make them earn what they get. Snap it 3 times for a first down, and at some point in there, I think we're getting to the point that we can take advantage of a mistake, and then if you give us a chance, we can get some pressure on the quarterback. But of course, he also ran for a 60-yard touchdown early in the season too. So
yeah, he had a big one versus Dumas as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order, but second round of the playoffs, and that's what you get.
Well, and this little tidbit I'll throw out there, and all-time Andrews is 3-0 versus Canyon Randall. They've never defeated Andrews, so maybe we'll get a little mojo, little black magic to Thursday night. So, but right now we're peaking at the right time, Coach.
Yeah.
In the tough schedule we had early in the season, now we're starting to get some of that swagger back. We've got us 4 wins in a row. And it's the one thing I like about running offenses is usually as deeper in the season you get, you start tightening up the screws and everything starts coming together. And, so, and then on the defensive end, right now we're playing complementary.
Yes.
Very complementary football. We're getting drives. We're moving the ball. Special teams now has really tightened up the screws, looking good as well. Defense, even run defense last week was fantastic. Especially in the first quarter, they were trying and they couldn't move the ball.
Well,
and then they said, well, let's try throwing the ball, and that was even worse.
Yeah. Well, the fronts on both sides of the ball, the offensive line, the defensive line, linebackers, they've got to allow the skill position people to do their job. And I think we're getting to that point where offensively we're just getting blocks and allowing skill guys to do the job. And those 3 or 4 guys we put up front, they're playing unselfish now. And I think we're at the point, it doesn't matter who makes the play as long as the play gets made and we get off on third down. Absolutely. I think it's really been fun watching the crew evolve from I want to make the play to let's just get the play made. It doesn't matter who does it.
Well, Coach, great performance. That's 4 games in a row. I want to give you this opportunity out there to say thank you or shout out to anybody that you would like.
Well, last time I was here, I mentioned my grandchildren. Today I want to mention my wife. She's gracious enough to say goodbye to me in August and meet me when the season's over, and I certainly appreciate it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate all the time and effort that you put into it. A lot of people out there, they don't realize how much time and effort and that y'all put in, and especially away from your family. We appreciate it. We're going to be there Thursday night, Wolford, Texas, at Friendships
People's Bank Stadium.
People's Bank Stadium, 7 o'clock. Hopefully everybody can get there. Coach, we're going to be pulling for y'all, and y'all go get them.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. All right, Slot T Mafia Show. We're back here in the studio. I got another coach, guest coach, live in the studio, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
My name is Coach Jacob Brink. I'm the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach here at Andrews High School.
Okay, Coach, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So last week we defeated Burnett in the bi-district round. Great job. Offense and the defense played a great complementary game. And do you want to kind of expound on that Burnett game and kind of y'all's game plan going into that?
So going in, we kind of had a good idea of what they were going to run. They had seen some slot T teams in the past, and we had found their YouTube live stream of the year before, and we had watched that and kind of figured it out. And I got a hold of offensive coordinator from Canyon that was at Canyon Lake, and I talked to him a little bit, so that was really helpful. But still, they came out and kind of caught us by surprise. We didn't think they would run 2-1s, and they did, and so we kind of had to adjust on the fly. But other than that, they played a lot how we thought they would. Their defensive line was kind of read and react. They kind of submarined us a lot. We had planned for that. Their linebackers were good. So for all in all, we got what we thought we were going to see, just a little bit different up front. But other than that, starting off the game, I went back and watched the film a couple times, and we just came off the ball. We were just pushing them back, and I don't think they really expected that physicality from the get-go. Had some mishaps early on that first drive, but defense got a couple stops, and we finally got some momentum and got some things figured out, and from then on we just kind of churned up yards and ate that clock, and all of a sudden we were up 21-0, and so at that point we were pretty confident. We just kept rolling. We ate up some clock. Defense played really well. They had 3 turnovers on the night. Like you've alluded to in the past, complimentary football, that's where we're at right now. But overall, offensively, we played pretty well, I thought. We really controlled the clock. We got a lot of first downs when we needed to. Obviously, there's some things that we were disappointed in. I wish we would have put the ball in the end zone to start the second half. We went on a 13-play drive. We ate up over 7 minutes, and we kind of sputtered out there on about the 30-yard line. But other than that, when you're playing a good team like Burnett, it's going to be back and forth. You're going to get stops. They're going to get stops. You're going to have good plays. They're going to have good plays. You're going to have, explosive plays. They're going to have explosive plays. There's going to be negative plays on both sides. But at the end of the day, when 2 really good teams play, it boils down to who can overcome those, who can keep fighting and keep in that ring for, all 4 quarters. And our kids did that. They withstood that all 4th quarters, and just at the end of the day, got the job done that needed to be done.
Well, excellent job, Coach. Both offense, defense, the preparation, the coaching, and the kids perfecting the game plan. It was a work of art. The game ended up being 35-21. I know a lot of folks out there got to listen, but they didn't get to see it, and it could have been 42-14. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of the game was intriguing because it could have been a lot closer, but in the same token, it could have been a lot more lopsided either way. So, and Burnett, give them credit. They fought to the very end. They didn't give up. But the Andrews Mustangs played a great game. You could see the effort. You could see the momentum. Also, you would have momentum swings in that game, and you could feel them. And by watching the game up in the stands, you could actually feel it. And they started creeping just a little bit. Maybe mid-second quarter started getting a little bit of momentum, and then we just shut them down. And then as soon as we got the turnover, our offense just starts rolling again. Great game. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about Canyon Randall. This week, traveling down to Wolforth, 7 o'clock, People's Bank Stadium. So what are some challenges that you guys have seen on film to get prepared for Canyon Randall?
You know, Canyon, their defense is really good. They've been pretty stingy all year. I don't know exactly what they're averaging giving up, but it's by far less than 30. I would just a guess. They're pretty big. They're really athletic. They're really fast. Their linebackers are really good. They have one, number 33, who's a really good linebacker. He comes downhill real fast. He's really, really physical. Maybe one of the more physical ones that we've seen this year. Very similar to number 32 from Decatur last year. He's pretty good. And then the other inside linebacker, number 22, is also pretty good. He's more of a scrape over the top, run you down, fitter type guy. So those two really complement each other really well as inside linebackers. And for us, that's going to be the challenge, making sure those guys are taken care of. And then they have a safety in number 8 who they like to move around a lot. In the Canyon game, they played him at linebacker. They brought him in as a third linebacker. They stacked him some right behind those two and just kind of let him roam around. They man him up on the quarterback some against Canyon. They did a lot of things with him, and he's pretty good. He's also he comes downhill. He'll get after you, and so that's another one we're going to have to make sure we take care of in the game plan. They're secondary. They're athletic. They're fast. They cover pretty well. They really are a truly sound defense. Unlike ones we've seen this year, we say, well, maybe their defensive line's not as good, and their secondary's better. Their secondary's pretty vulnerable here, and their linebackers aren't as good. But this really, from a complete defensive standpoint, they're pretty sound. They're pretty solid. And probably one of the, if not the most complete defense we've seen this year.
Well, Coach, we're going to be pulling for you guys. We will be there, and we'll be there this Thursday, and we'll be doing the audio stream once again. We're pulling for you guys. Is there anybody out there in Mustang Nation you want to give a special shout-out to?
Once again, my wife and 3 boys, they traveled all the games. They were at Angelo last Thursday. They've gone to Clint, Canyon. They're going up to Lubbock this week. I think the only one they didn't go to is Wichita Falls, and that one's just a little bit too far for them. But they went to Pecos. Every other one they were at, and so without my wife, none of this would be possible, because she does such a great job with those 3 boys, and basically at this point raising them by herself for a lot of the football season.
Well, Coach, we appreciate all the time, effort, sacrifice that you put in. We appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you being in Andrews. We're pulling for you guys this Thursday, and we want you to go and get them. And good luck, Coach.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, we're back here live in the studio. I have an Andrews Mustang football player here live. I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
My name is Brady Kelly. I play outside linebackers here at Andrews High School.
All right, Brady, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that Burnett game. And you guys, defense, y'all come out. Y'all were playing with your hair on fire. Y'all ended up with 3 interceptions and 1 pick six. And do you remember who got that pick six?
I'll have to think back on it.
So Mr. Kelly here had a big interception for touchdown in the latter part of the game. Kind of really put the game on ice at that point. They wasn't completely out of it, but at that point, down 21, I don't remember, maybe 7-8 minutes left in the game. It made it almost impossible for Burnett to come back. But big shout out to you. And do you want to go ahead and he was also our co-defensive player of the game last week. You want to kind of walk everybody out there through that play?
So they were doing a lot of motions, and they had trips up top. almost kind of like a tight end with that single receiver down, and I made sure that Raider, the corner behind me, had that tight end locked up, and that single receiver motions out, and they snap the ball, and I checked to see if that slant was taken care of, and Raider had it taken care of, and I was just kind of just watching where the quarterback's eyes were going, and as he went to throw, he was trying to throw it to that slant coming behind me, and as he went to throw, Dalen just absolutely smoked him from behind. It just made the ball kind of go off course a little bit, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and that ball came Mach 9 at my face, and it just happened to just go right in my hands.
And then you outran everybody
Yes, sir.
to the end zone.
Yes, sir.
So great play. It was great getting to call it, getting to see it live. Congratulations on the victory versus Burnett. Now we're moving forward to Canyon Randall this week. And how's the first 2 days of practice been this week preparing?
Very good. I think that the defense that we're running is going to give them a lot of trouble with their counter. I think that they're going to go into this game thinking that they have a better record than us, and we're going to come out firing with our hair on fire, just like you said. We're going to be more physical than they are, and we're just going to hit them right in the mouth every single play, and they're going to want nothing to do with it.
Well, we are so ready. Now, this week in preparing, is there any guys on their offensive side that you got to really account for?
For sure, their running back. I remember him from last year. He was shifty, but we had him really taken care of. Their counter wasn't working against us, so if we really play their counter right, he's not going to do anything against us. But we definitely have to make sure that we do our jobs, or he will take it all the way. And their number 88 wide receiver, he's really fast and he has really good hands. We just got to lock him down and just make sure they have absolutely no passing game.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you this opportunity out there. Anybody in Mustang Nation you want to give a thank you or a shout out to out there?
I'm going to thank the team. I love those guys. I mean, we're a brotherhood. We're brothers. We have each other's back on everything. If you screw up, you just brush it off and go get the next play, because the next play is what really matters, not the one that just happened. And we'll do anything for each other, and we'll even after football season, I mean, we'll do anything for each other and always keep in touch, and just love these guys, and shout out to y'all.
Well, Brady, we appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to be there this Thursday. We're going to be pulling for you guys. It's a great opportunity, and it's good to get to play a team like Canyon Randall, who we have played the last couple of years. I know they wanted to take us off the schedule, so we didn't get to play them this year in the preseason. So we look forward to it. This Thursday night, 7 o'clock, we'll be there. We're pulling for you guys. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Have them prepared and ready, and you guys come out, hair on fire, and let's go get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we're back here live in the studio. I got another Andrews Mustang here, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Cabrera. I'm a middle linebacker now, normally a roll down safety, but I'm number 13, and yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and get into that. So last week, Andrews was playing Burnett in the bi-district round, and Zach plays at the safety position. Due to injury, one of their inside linebackers got hurt, and he had to move down inside. And I want to go ahead and tell you, you played a heck of a game. We called it. He was all over the field, north, south, east, west, breaking passes up, making tackles, laying the hit stick. So congratulations. It was a great game last week. And is there anything that you want to expound on that game from last week?
I just want to say the defense played a really good game all around. From what I saw off of the defensive line, this is one of the most sound games that the defensive line had. They covered the pass. They knew when to drop back. They knew when the screens are coming, and they're quick to the football. And overall, they're giving the quarterback pressure, giving us as like a defensive backs time to turn our heads, look for the ball, which is great all around. But yeah, the defense did a great job, and along with the offense, sometimes they take their time to get going, but off the jump they got with it, and they did really good for us, eating up the time, which made it easier.
Well, it was a great game last week. We enjoyed calling it. We enjoyed watching it. It was a very good complementary game, offense and defense together. We kind of stifled Burnett from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Offense and defense, you could tell you guys were getting to the football. You were rallying to the football. You could see the speed, and it wasn't just one guy here or there. It was everybody. There were several times we'd have a tackle, and I'm calling it, and I'm like, there's 8 or 9 dudes on the tackle. And it's kind of hard to –
Yeah.
And then when everybody starts peeling off the pile, you might get 1 or 2 numbers out there, but it was really 8 or 9. So hats off to you guys last week.
Sure, thank you.
And now looking forward to this week. So y'all have had 2 practices this week, and how do you think the practices have gone preparing for Canyon?
So we're an early morning team. We wake up really early, get to practice really early, and we get started. We like to get it going. But so here recently, like we began to seem more tired in the morning. But there's something with the playoff attitude. It's just we're wanting to be there, but at the same time, it's early. We gotta wake up. But today we had a rougher first period practice, but we got it going in the second period of our practice, and we've been having really good practices here recently. Really fun, and all the teammates are enjoying each other.
Well, and I think a lot of that, I know this, and some of y'all out there will, as you get older, like me, every time the time changes, it messes you up as far as getting up early and going to bed at different times. So that definitely is a factor. Now, this week, are you looking at are you preparing for both positions or just the linebacker spot this week?
So right now I'm just looking at a linebacker because we have people that can fill whatever I'm leaving right now. I'm the 4th of the 4 safeties. So if I leave that position, we have 3 more guys that are just as good. They can fill it.
So look at it from the linebacker spot this week. As you're preparing for Canyon, Randall, what are some things that you've seen, or maybe some players that they have that you really got to account for?
So for me, always looking at receivers now because playing safety, I've realized that ADA is real quick, and being a linebacker, having to sometimes get my read step, drop back, and look for those inside coming slants. I'm seeing the ADA is going to come in fast, so I'm going to have to be able to jump on it real quick. And also I'm going to have to read some guards that, we've played some teams where, these guards are slow, but these guards are coming in hot. They're coming in fast. So if I'm not quicker than they are, then they're going to shut me off and allow a hole for number 21, which is a very speedy player.
You have to read and react quickly. I got you. All right. Well, Zach, is there anybody out there in Mustang Nation that you want to give a special shout out to? Could be anybody you like.
I'll do the same thing as last time. My brother, my parents, and my grandparents as well.
And well, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
We enjoy watching you play and getting to call the games. We just really enjoy watching all you guys, and it's a pleasure. We're honored to get to be able to do that. We're very lucky. We're going to be there this Thursday night in Wolford, Texas, 7 o'clock. Hopefully everybody can get out there to support these guys. If you can't, we will be audio streaming the game. Mr. Cabrera, keep them motivated, keep them fighting. Come out with y'all's hair on fire, and you guys go get them Thursday.
Sir, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we're back here. I got another Andrews Mustang football player live in the studio, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Raider Harvey. I play corner for the Mustangs, and I'm number 2.
So, Raider, this last game versus Burnett by district round, you guys get the victory 35-21. Great defensive effort all around, offense, defense, and especially on the defensive end. D-line, linebackers, and secondary played lights out. Raider had several pass breakups during the game, also had a great interception, almost returned. And there was actually 1 or 2 other passes that were kind of what we call the hot zone that were thrown in there that could have had a chance. It could have gone either way if the ball would have been a yard this way or this way. So great effort, great game plan. Do you want to expound on any part of that game from last week?
I just like how when they kind of got the ball going, Burnett got the ball going, and we were having a little bit of a tough time middle of the game. I like how we didn't like fall apart. We stayed true to ourselves, believed in each other, and it worked out for us. We got the ball back. Brady took a pick 6 all the way, so it was good, just believing in each other, not giving up.
And great game, Raider. Appreciate you. Also was Cole defensive MVP, Mustang News Network of that game versus Burnett. Now we're moving in this week, area round, playing Canyon up in Wolforth Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Now, preparing this first 2 days of practice from your position, number one, how has practice gone this week so far? And then what are some things that you're looking at that you really got to concentrate on versus Canyon?
So I think practices, like Zach said, like we've been starting off a little slow just because we got to get in the groove of it. But then when we get going, I think we've been having pretty good practices so far. High energy. Most of the time on defense, we're pretty fired up over there, have a good time. And something I've been preparing for is two of the main dudes that come to my side. They got good moves off the line, so I just keep my eyes on their hips, wait for them to make a move, and then I'll go.
Well, now, is there any guys that you've been watching on film that you really got to pay attention to this week?
So main person I'm going to be covering, number 2, he's pretty good. I covered him last year. He had some on me. He had a pretty good game. He's pretty good. He's a senior. Yeah, he's fast. He got good moves off the line. And then number 88, I went against him in track, and he's pretty fast, runs 10.6 in the 100, and like he can go. So that's kind of been a hot topic of our film this week. Just 88, got to shut down everybody, but 88 will run by you, and it'll be a tough one, but I think we can do it.
Well, Raider, we appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anybody out there in Mustang Nation you want to give a special shout out to or thank you?
I want to say thank you to Coach Jackson for sure. He always he knows. He used to be a receiver coach. He knows how hard it is to play corner, and me and the corners, we have a thing where we just say most hated. We think we're the most hated position. You know, you could have a great game, have one mess up, you did bad. So we always say most hated all the time, and I believe it's true. But Coach Jackson just knows how to get us back in the right mindset. He comes up and talks to us. He's not just gonna. It's not all about football. Like he's gonna be a good person as well. He'll talk about you, build you up, not break you down. And then also, my parents, they're always positive for me. It's not easy in the position that I'm in. A lot of eyes are on me all the time, just because my dad is the head coach, and it is rough. You know, I get a lot of backlash for a lot of stuff, and I think it's worse on me personally because, oh, that's the coach's kid. Like he should know how to do this, and it's not easy, but they know how to keep me in the right mindset, stay positive, and they don't break me down either.
Well, Raider, we appreciate you coming on the show. You've had a great year and had a great last couple of games. Been excellent. And cornerback position is one of the hardest, number one. And number 2, you guys play a lot of man, and that's very difficult. And you've done a great job, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to be down there this Thursday, Wolforth, Texas, People's State Bank Stadium. You guys are going to take it on Canyon Randall. We'll be there. We're going to be pulling for you. Keep these guys motivated. Keep the head on right, and you guys go down there and take care of business.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's going to conclude this episode of the Slot Team Mafia Show. We're here in the studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop back here is brought to you by Nix and Nax. We want to give a special thanks to Coach Narrell and Coach Brink for being live in the studio. These Andrews Mustangs for coming in here for the interviews. This Thursday night, Wolforth, Texas, 7 o'clock, People's Bank Stadium, Andrews versus Canyon Randall. We are going to be there live. We'll have an audio stream. Try to get to the game to support these boys. If you cannot, we will have a live audio stream. And always remember, folks, it's a great day to be a Mustang.